Hi guys, it's Michelle Pippin and I'm coming to you for another episode of Coaching from the Couch, only I'm not on the couch right now. I'm actually in my official office where I don't spend a lot of time actually. I tend to do a lot of my work, most of my work on the couch. However, my couch has been overtaken in recent days. My son has we thought he had a sinus infection. Now we know it's mono. And so he's been spending a lot of time on the couch. And I figured that you might prefer a Coaching from the Couch episode that was not overtaken by him moaning and, he's been in such pain with his throat and with his ears. And so I didn't want you guys to be exposed to that. It is quite the low vibe experience. So we're doing Coaching from the Couch from my actual office. And for those of you guys who are new to me, this may be the first time you see my office, but I wanted to talk with you about the most important sale that you ever have to make. And this is really like, it's the first sale that you have to make. And it's kind of a tie for first, right? Because for so long, I've said that the first sale that you need to make is with yourself, right? It's to the woman in the mirror, and you've got to be sold on you. You've got to be sold on what you bring to your ideal target market, the problem that you solve. You have got to be focused on exactly why people should choose you over anybody else they could choose. You've got to be sold on that first, but that's actually not what I wanted to talk about today. I actually wanted to talk about a different first kind of sale that we often kind of overlook. We kind of jump over. And I really wanted to come to you and talk with you about this sale. And that is, you need to get them to pay attention, right? That's the first sale that you want to make. If you're being ignored, the truth is we don't really have any, we don't have a budgeting problem. We don't have a price problem. Most of us just have an obscurity problem, right? People just aren't paying attention to us, and yet we expect them to pay us money. And so that's really the first sale that you've got to make in your business. You have got to get your people, your market, you've got to get them paying attention. If they're not paying attention, they're daggone sure not going to pay you anything else, right? And now, I don't want to stop there, right? I've worked with what I call my secret clients, like my secret clients who have a media reel that is like drool worthy. They're weekly on national TV shows. They're in Cosmo. They're in places like that. And when I ask them what kind of money they're making, they're like, one lady, I'll never forget it, said $400 a month. And I'm like, oh my God, right? Like I would kill for your media. So she didn't have an obscurity problem. She had just stopped with the, getting them to pay attention, getting the attention on her. And she just kind of stopped there. She thought the rest would just happen. It doesn't, right? I'm not trying to renege on what I've built this whole business on, but we do want to make sure that we are paying attention to what gets them to pay attention, right? This is where you want to spend some time looking at headlines, blog post titles. You want to make sure that you are in tune with your market. One of the best ways to get people to pay attention is to say what they're thinking but unwilling to say, right? It's a very great strategy when you are saying out loud what your people are thinking. And I've long said that the person who knows their market the best is the woman who wins the business, right? Because people want to work with people who understand them, who get them on a different kind of a level. And so, the first sale, I guess, the most important sale, I guess, is you've got to sell yourself on you. You cannot go into the marketplace lacking confidence. Lack of confidence in the seller means lack of confidence in the buyer. When the buyer is not confident, the buyer walks away. But a tie for first, a tie for most important is really selling them on paying attention. You've got to break through the obscurity barrier. You've got to be worth listening to. I'm not saying worth as a person. You already have worth as a person. You were born that way. But you want to make sure that you are doing everything you can to obliterate the obscurity that is right now hiding you, right? You've got to figure out what will they pay attention to. A great way to do this is to look at what they're already paying attention to, right? What they are already, high-fiving, amening, hallelujahing, putting up their gifs. You want to look at what they're already paying attention to, and you want to not copy that, but you want to be aware of that and say, okay, well, how can I Michelle-ize that? How can I make it whatever? And so you will see, I've done this actually. I've made a I feel like it's a pretty big change in the way I show up on Facebook. And I'm showing up more often. I'm doing a lot more like little like quotes. I'm doing questions. I'm doing a lot more video. And this is not at all taking away from my absolute ruthless authenticity online, but I started looking at what my people, my best people, my ideal market, the people who should be Women Who Wow members, I started looking at what they were paying attention to. Because if they're not paying attention to me, they're not going to pay me anything else, right? They're not going to pay me any money. They're not going to join. They're not going to take action. So the first sale is you got to get them to pay you attention. You got to make sure you're no longer obscure in the minds of your market. This doesn't mean you got to be famous. It just means you can't be obscure anymore. You can't hide in obscurity. You've got to make sure that you are demonstrating your authority. The truth is, authority is a very deliberately manufactured process, right? Anyone that you think has authority in your industry, they're well known, they're famous, they have a book or whatever, that is deliberately manufactured by them. You can guarantee it, right? And so it can be, and it should be, deliberately manufactured by us. Now, if you are a Women Who Wow member already, then you can log into the member group and look at my Enterprising Experts training bundle. And in that, I want you to look at either branding you can take to the bank and or the one about generating demand, right? Like that's, these are things, and I think there's actually one on building authority, but any of those trainings will give you like the step-by-step. How do you generate authority in an industry? How do you become the person that people are willing to listen to? But if you don't do that, then sales are always going to be an uphill battle. And so this is really all about branding and packaging, and it is nothing that can be done for you by some logo designer or website designer or anybody who's asking you, if you were an outfit, what outfit would you be, right? Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like actual branding in action. And so these are the things that you need to do to make sure that you are getting people to pay attention to you so that they will then pay to work with you. I appreciate you guys, and I look forward to another episode of Coaching from the Couch when I'm actually on my couch once I get my son off of it, which might be a while, like a week. I'm not sure. Anyway, appreciate you all, and I will talk with you soon. If you have any questions for me about your business, something you want me to answer in another Coaching from the Couch episode, or if you're not a Women Who Wow member, then you need to message me, m.me/Women Who Wow. I'll talk with you guys later. Bye.